I say down with my day one. No new friends, no new friends, no new friends, no, no, no. Hey, Khaled. Hello, my darlings. Welcome to another episode of AM to PM. This is your weekly reality check where we deep dive into the successes and the struggles, the pretty and the ugly, the naughty and the nice of everyday life. I am your host, Anna Marie, Big AMD, keeping it sweet for you every week. And let's start off with what's the tea? What's the tea? I've actually got a cup of tea this week. This is by Puka. Is that how you say it? Puka or Puka? It's elderberry and enchianchia. Echinacea or echinacea. I don't know how you say that. Okay, I've never known how you said this word, but it's the magic of echinacea and juicy berries. And I have a lovely glass with me, cup with me today, as we serve some tea for you on your Thursday. If you're watching on the YouTube, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We are still on the road to 1K, and I'm serving you vampy goddess today. It's Halloween week, and last week I was in Halloween spirit and I really wanted to turn up, but I was so busy and I was so tired. I just stayed home. I didn't party at all. So there is a week of redemption. This weekend could potentially be a weekend of redemption, but we'll see. I am also still very tired, and this winter weather is not my bag. I love the summertime. I love warmth. Because I wear minimal clothing anyway, so having to go out in the rain and the doom and gloom of the London city, no, I'm not really a fan. But then again, life is short. Let me take a sip. This is if you like a fruity tea. I would highly recommend this. I'm not too fond of fruity teas. I just love English breakfast. I hate to say it. I don't identify myself as English, but I am very English when it comes to tea. Give me an English breakfast, a Tetley tea, any day. Anytime I travel, I always carry my Tetley with me and my brown sugar. The only thing I miss is milk, because I just can't go without it. And the fact that I'm trying this herbal tea, this fruit tea, it's just not hitting the spot. I feel like with English breakfast tea, it hits the spot. Like, it gives me a boost of caffeine, keeps me going. It also, I can have it with my biscuits. You lot know I love my biscuits. I love a sweet treat. So fruit tea, what do I have it with? I just have to drink the tea on its own. I mean, I guess that's the point. But I am greedy. I like to multitask. Anyways, back to what's tea. What's the tea in my life and what's tea in real life? In my life, really and truly, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm very, very proud of myself. I made it to episode 3. Big up me and big up you guys who have been listening since episode 1. And I feel like I can do this. I can do this every week. If I dedicate time every week to get this done, I can absolutely smash it. But I'm also tired because it's just like the end of the year, that transition to Christmas time, where I just feel exhausted and I don't want to do anything, but I need to get to the bag. And I've really just been on my grind trying to secure them Christmas bookings, and prepare myself for hibernation, because January as a creative is always a quiet month. Let me tell you, if you can earn from October to December is when you need to be grinding. No time for enjoyment and spending money. This is when you need to be making money to save, to stack, to last you until February, because January is a long month, and it's caught me so many times. January has 5 weeks. So you have to wait. You're waiting until February. You're waiting 5 weeks to get paid, okay? If you do 30-day invoices. Stack your money now. Okay. Stack, 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 grind, grind, grind. And then when springtime comes around, then you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. Listen. Oh, I've just opened a new savings account. And I don't have time. I don't have time. I've always been a little bit funny with my money. Not funny, but I've just been irresponsible with my money. And now I'm looking at my life. I'm like, no, girl, we need multiple savings accounts. This one saving account isn't doing it for me because I always dip and dab into the savings account. No, I need one that's locked away and I cannot touch it. And if I am going to touch it, then I need to give them at least a 30-day notice. So that way it stops me from just, well, I'm just going to buy this for myself. Well, I'm just going to do this and I'll put it back. No, because I never put it back. And then at the end of the month, I'm wondering, where's all my money? Why? Who's done fraud on my account? It was me. I did fraud on my own damn account because I didn't know how to be responsible. So I'm over it. And what's going on in the world? I'm waiting for another episode of Blue Therapy. Hello, producers. They put out like 4 episodes back to back or within a week, a couple of weeks of each other, a couple of days. The first one was a week, and then there was episode 2 and 3. I feel like there were like a few days, like 4 days in between them. And episode 5 I'm waiting for. Please, I need my crack. I love, as much as I'm an intellectual, I love reality TV. I love dirt television. Give it to me. Like there's, as long as there's a bit of scandal, a bit of drama, I'm all over it. And I need Blue Therapy to come back. I know people have been watching Love is Blind and all of that stuff. I've been keeping up with Love is Blind through Jessie Woo. She's a black creator she's a Haitian babe, but does she live in Atlanta or LA? She's funny girl, multifaceted creator, honey, can sing and she's funny too. Yeah, she's great. So I've been keeping up with Love is Blind through her, but I haven't actually watched it since season 1 because I don't feel like reality shows, the first season, maybe season 2 is where it slaps because that's where you get the raw nitty gritty, like the raw characters. After that, once it keeps going on, I feel like people know that they can get famous and that it's just weird to watch, or people kind of create a certain character. And from what I've been hearing about this new season is that a lot of people are trying to get in, be in it for the bag. Wow, I can't speak. It's that Injun Chia. It's the elderberry and the Encancio. I don't even know. Someone tell me how to pronounce this. I should have googled this before. That's the reason why I can't speak clearly. But yeah, I need my fix. I need my reality fix. And I've also been watching Lupin for the English speakers on Netflix. That's my show, fam. As much as his disguises are so stupid, because this is my thing about Lupin, right? They've got like this tall, dark-skinned man with the most distinguished features roaming around Paris, okay? where it's predominantly white people. He is like there aren't that many black characters aside from him and like in this season. Is this season 3? I think it's season 3, where they've brought in his family and his past life, his past story. So now we have more black characters. But Lupin, we know it's you. We know it's you. I saw a meme where the police catch him and then he puts on a mustache and they're like, we know it's you. And then he puts on the glasses like, we know it's you. And the fact that he gets away with so much, he's just like roaming the streets so brazenly. He looks people dead in their face. And can't you be like, bruv, you're Hassan Diop. You should be calling the feds. And he looks people and he's got gift of the gab, man. If I could have any skill, it would be gift of the gab. And as much as I'm a talker, I'm not very good at like manipulating people to do things. What I can seduce. And ultimately, I get what I want anyway because I'm me, But to be able to talk really, really quickly and convince people and steal and I think that's one of the most incredible skills anyone can have. Of course, I'm fearful of people like that because you don't know when they're lying to you. and you don't know when they're stealing from you. But if I could have any skill, it would be gift of the gab. So big up Omar Sy and the Netflix team. Asan Diop lives to see another day, and I hope hope there's another season 4, because I binge watched it. I knocked that out of the park very quickly. Also, a little personal achievement. I have officially completed Sober October 2023. 31 days, no alcohol. The reason why I started this is because my birthday was the end of September, and I fell off the wagon. It was my birthday party, and it's my birthday. I can cry if I want to. It's my birthday. I can throw up if I want to. I had too many tequila shots that night, and we had a personalized menu with a variety of cocktails. I was mixing my liquor. People would buy me drinks. People would buy me tequila. I don't want to smell tequila ever again. Okay. And I'm very, very proud of myself for completing the 31 days. At this point, do you know what? I kind of have broken it. I had a dessert yesterday. So yeah, I completed the 31 days, but I had a dessert which contained sake, which is like a Japanese alcoholic beverage. It was a sorbet. It was very delicious, actually. And then they poured the sake over the sorbet. So that was kind of like my introduction back to alcohol, but I barely noticed it. I was more focused on the sorbet than the actual sake. So yes, big up to me for completing that. It's 31 days sober, no alcohol, and also 107 days no Mary Jane. Yeah, we did that. And I think I've got a Patreon episode talking about, my addictions and relationship with alcohol and things like that. So I'll go more in depth of that if you head on over to my Patreon, /AnnaMarine D. And, there you can listen to my secrets and all of that stuff. But yeah, I think I'm going to try and take more of a sober, more of a clean approach. Because I just don't like the feeling the next day. When you're in the moment, it's great. It's just the after effects. It's the next day where you feel like absolute crap. And it's like it never ends. You just feel like crap. For me now, my hangovers, I used to bounce back like a spring chicken. Just have paracetamol and water and I'll be good to go. Now I need to lie down. I need to sleep it off. I need to eat. I need to steam and detox and go to the gym. I need to do so many things just to get my body back to optimum capacity after drinking too much and after taking miscellaneous items. So shout out to me. We're going to see how long we can keep this going. But yeah, let's get into this week's episode. No new friends, no new friends, no new friends, no new. No new friends in adulthood. Ooh. There's that Drake song, no new friends, no new friends, no new friends, no new. DJ Khaled. Is that even the song? Is that in the song? I need to know. I need to listen to it. Hold on. Hold the phone right now. Because I don't know why my brain did DJ Khaled. It must be in there for a reason. It is. It's even by DJ Khaled. It's not even a Drake song. It's by DJ Khaled. Oh my God. I say down with my day one. No new friends, no new friends, no new friends, no new. Hey, Khaled. No new friends. Oh my God, look at Drake. This is embarrassing. If I was Drake, I would delete all my old discography. Like my old visual images of him. Drake was not cute. Drake still is not cute. Okay? He's got money now. He's got cornrows and he's cosplaying like a light-skinned man. Okay, yes, he's a light-skinned man, but he's really like in his light-skinned mixed race bag right now with the cornrows and like whatever swag he's rocking right now. But he's not a handsome fella. And seeing that music video right there, that just reminded me of everything I needed to know about Drake. And this is why I'm not Team Drake. Big up, man. He's come up a long way. He's come a long way. Even DJ Khaled, seen him there. Wow. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Anyways, back to the topic. No new friends in adulthood. No new friends in your 20s. This is something that I had to deal with in my early 20s. We are talking about friendships, relationships in adulthood. Because life is just not as sweet and sound as you think it's going to be. If you are a teenager listening to this, hello, welcome. But the friends that are around you now probably are not going to be your friends in 10, 20 years time. And as much as we'd like to think like, yeah, this is going to be my friend, you're going to be like the godmother to my children, we're going to have babies at the same time, we're going to live in the same gated community and all of these things. Reality is life be life in. And life will take you in different places, and that is okay. Let's first start off with the expectations of the best friend. Now, in Disney Channel, I think Disney Channel is the problem for a lot of us. Shit. If we really, really deep, it's Disney Channel's fault for a lot of things. But the concept of a best friend is someone who's your ride or die, your Cody, someone you do everything with. You finish each other's sentences. You wear matching clothes. You like the same things. You're everywhere together, right? That concept of best friend only exists in school, only exists in high school, primary school, maybe college and university at best. Why? Because you are around each other every single day. Well, at least 5 out of 7 days a week. And how many hours a school day? 6 hours? 6 hours a day for 5 days a week. You are with that person. That's what makes you guys best friends and inseparable, because you see each other all the time. You know each other's mannerisms. You like the same things, and such is life. But then you leave school and people get jobs and people make new friends and people have different experiences, and you start to drift apart. And of course, there are some people who remain besties for years, but that takes effort. Adulthood is the trenches. Okay, adulthood is the trenches. I remember I wanted to grow up so bad. Take me back to year 10. Take me back to secondary school days where I had no responsibilities and I was none the wiser, because life was good. I didn't have to pay no bills. All I had to worry about is getting to school, not getting rushed by some random boys that were coming to chirps our school and not getting caught on the roads eating chicken and chips by my mum, you know? Those were the problems that I had back there. Now I've got too many stresses on my shoulders and I don't have the strength. But such is life, right? So the idea of best friends makes friendships seem, or relationships with people feel like they are an all or nothing type of scenario. Like if you've got a best friend, you need to mix blood with that person. This person is you, your batting and bench. This person is you and you are them. And that's such a beautiful thing to have. But where it becomes tricky is once you start getting a little bit older and life starts taking you down different paths. I miss my best friend, my secondary school best friend. We have completely different lives now. And unfortunately, we don't see each other. We might text each other on a birthday, but over the years, our friendship just started to dwindle and we spoke less and less and started to see each other less and less. And she's got her own new friends and I've got my own new friends. And it became very, very apparent that we just don't have anything in common anymore. All we have are the memories of the past and things that used to make us laugh, but we don't know each other. We didn't know each other in our adult forms. And of course, you can take the time to hold on to those friendships and really, really nurture those friendships and make sure that you two are growing at the same pace. But it's quite difficult, especially if you both work in different fields in life, if you've got different aspirations, if you move out of the country, if you move around or whatever. Like, I've always been clear that I wanted to do entertainment. It was, for as long as I could remember, I was doing auditions, I was at events, I was always in this hustle and bustle lifestyle, and my best friend wasn't. And that's just something that we grew to accept, and such is life. And then as you get older, I'm not sure if it's the same for men. I feel like men have their bros. Like, men don't really lose friends like that unless it's a violation, something really, really happened, and they're just like, nah, bro, like, I can't be mates with you no more. Like, that's very, very rare. I feel like guys kind of stick with the same packs. A lot of guys will have the same friends from at least university, maybe not high school, but at least university, they'll have the same group of friends. It's just different for guys, and I think guys are better at conflict resolution than women. As you get older, I think a lot of adults find themselves feeling a little bit lonely, and this is something that I can say. Around my mid-20s, I started to feel lonely because I was like, who is my friend? Who is my best friend? And I still feel like that to some regard because I don't have a best friend. I have multiple friends. Like, I'll say, like, my real G's, I can count them on one hand. Yes, the people that I trust, I can call in an emergency, I know are going to be there for me. One hand, yes. And then there are a select few other people that I will still let into my home, you know, because you can't be bringing anyone into your house. That's the thing. You can't just be bringing everybody, calling them friend up, bringing them into your house. You don't know what kind of demon spirits people have got. You got to just tell them to meet you somewhere. And people love to come up in people's house. Oh, I learned this the hard way. People love to come up in my house and touch my shit. No. My mom had to talk to me many a time and tell me, no, stop bringing these people in my house. Stop bringing that girl. That girl's not your friend. I don't like that girl. And you're so blinded by it. But anyways, moving on. I often feel like a part of me is missing. Like, I just want a partner in crime. I want someone who's similar to me, kind of shares similar values to me. That is my bestie. And I thought I found that a couple of times, but this is one thing that we do as women is we love bomb. We fall in love, we fall head over heels. We do this in romantic relationships too. We fall head over heels almost immediately if we have a spark with someone and we think that, oh my God, like, we have so much in common, and oh my God, I like you, and this, and you make me feel like this. We instantly like hyper romanticize the person and fantasize about the person, and then now we're best friends. Oh, now we're together. And I remember one time I dated this woman, and this girl like fell in love with me too fast. And I realized, oh, this is what women do. This is what I've done in the past. This is why men run away sometimes. Yeah, we need to learn how to work on that. But it's not our fault. It's just who we are. It's just who we are naturally. And you just got to manage yourself and monitor your behavior, monitor how you feel. I was having a conversation with a friend recently, and she was telling me about a friend who she thought was like gonna be the one, like her best friend. They're both in the same industry and they like the same things, and she thought, yeah, this is it. And then the cracks started to show, and she felt really, really disappointed in that. And that's just such a common thing. I've done that. I've had friends where I've been like, wow, like, this is really my girl, you know, this is my G. Like, I honestly feel like we were meant to be. And then people start showing their true colors, and you realize, oh no, this isn't it. And you've already told this person your secrets. You've already shared your life with this person. You've brought them to your house. You've given them money, or whatever, you've shared so much of your life with this person within such a short space of time, and then you realize they're a crackhead. No, not actually a crackhead, but you realize that it's, all that glitters isn't gold. And I've now learned how to manage myself moving forth in relationships with women, because sometimes with women want to be friends with you because of who you are or how you look or the places that you're in, or, the kind of value you could bring to their life, not because of who you are, but because of who you appear to be, like your brand image, and they want to attach themselves with that. Women are very, very good at doing that. Men too. Men, like, you see rappers that roll around with 20 man. You think half of these dons care about the guy? No, they just want to be seen in public or say that they're friends with that guy, because it lifts their status. It makes them feel more valuable because they're connected to someone who is valuable, but they don't give a shit. Women do the same thing too. I've had it so many times where women out of the blue, I'll meet people and they'll be like, oh, I want to be a friend. Or they see how I move and they're like, I need to be around you more, because they think like I can open doors for them. No, baby. I'm steady trying to open the doors for myself. What makes you think I'm going to bring you through too? No. Going back to the Drake song and DJ Khaled song, No New Friends. He says, I stayed down with what's the lyric? Stayed down with my day one N-words. Basically meaning that you're only loyal to the people who were there with you from the beginning. And on one hand, I agree. You should absolutely put first and be loyal to the people who have been there for you from the jump, who've known you from baby, who have supported you on your grind. These are the people that you repay when you start making money and you've got wealth and you've got status. These are the people that you bring up with you. However, not everyone deserves to be in that spot. Some people are snakes. And sometimes it's the people that have been in your life the longest that don't want to see you win. Friends and family of the sort that are really, they have held on to a version of you that fit their narrative, that fit their life. And now you want to break away from that and start a new life. It threatens them. It threatens their peace. It threatens the image that they have. And they might not like that. We all would love our friends and our family to be our number one supporters, to be there, to be the most loyal to us. But sometimes they're the ones that are going to drag you down. They're the ones that are going to question your growth and change and your lifestyle choices, because they don't understand. They've seen you as one person and now you're trying to become this other person, and it doesn't fit the image that they've got of you in their mind, and you gotta let them go sometimes. Like, even just looking at old Drake, man was a dweeb. I don't ever use the word dweeb, but if I had to use the word dweeb, if it was a Oxford Dictionary definition of the word dweeb, it would be old Drake. And I'm sure he had a vision in his mind of who he is now, of him being that guy Drake. And his family all saw him as dweeb Drake. So you got to knock down some doors and you got to let go of some people to in order to become the new version of yourself. And although being loyal to your day one friends is very, very important, I do think it's just as important to make new friends, because you grow and you change and you have your mindset changes and your environment changes, especially if you work in certain industries, like corporate industries. You need to be friends with some of these people because they're the only people who can understand you. The corporate world is a mad place, especially if you work in high-paced environments. They are the only people who could understand what that's like. You come to me as a creative and you're telling me about your day. I don't know what the hell is going on. Same way you won't understand what the hell is going on in my world. But you need people who understand and vibe with you, who can be there on your journey with you and support you and ultimately help you on your journey and help open doors for you and share the light with you, because you all understand. And I think I've I think I've done a good job now where the people in my life, the people that I keep in my circle, those who are in a similar industry to me, I really, really trust them because I ain't got time. I don't have the time to be second guessing people. I want to have a peace of mind in all forms of life. And friendship, I don't want to be looking over my shoulder and thinking about, is this friend doing things behind my back? Is this friend a little snaky snake? No. So the people that I've chosen that are like on my homies, my codies, they're all creative and they understand me in some capacity and can support me in some capacity. And I them. And it's been absolutely fantastic. The biggest transition in friendship happens just after you leave full-time education. So I'm British, so it goes high school, college, university. But if you are an international listener, then for you, it's like high school, college, which is university. Once you leave full-time education, your environment changes. That's where you notice, damn, who do I have around me? And I think it's so important to have community. As much as I'm an individual and I talk about individualism a lot and self-care a lot, a huge part of self-care is having community. Having people around you that you can lean on when you cannot carry yourself, because there are going to be days when you cannot carry yourself. And I think people have found, especially with lockdown and everything that's happened, so hard to hang on to relationships. And one thing I've learned about friendships, like, you can't force it. Same with dating and relationships. You can't force it. If it feels off from the beginning, then it's probably just going to feel off all the time. Last episode is kind of, this episode is kind of a crossover between last episode, You Don't Need a Man, You Live, episode 2, You Don't Need a Man, You Need Therapy, because I did speak about friendships a little bit, and dependency. Your friends shouldn't be your world. You should be your world. It all starts with you. And then you cultivate strong and beautiful relationships with people and you share those bonds. So how do you actually make friends? Like everything I do in my life, in my creative work, I think my mission is to just show people the way. Is to be a light to people, show people how they can take control of their life, put themselves in the driver's seat, and how they can navigate and create the world that they want to live. So everything starts with you. Okay? First, you need to look at yourself, look at your life, currently your goods, your bads. And I say this every time, get a pen and paper. Literally write it down. Put a line down the middle of the paper. Put your pros and your cons. Things that you like about yourself, things that you don't like about yourself. If you can't find something that you don't like about yourself, go and ask the people that you spend the most time with what you could improve on. They'll tell you. And then you put that down and see how you can work on yourself. And think about what kind of friend you are. Are you someone that shows up for people? Are you only there for the good times? Are you someone that people could call in the middle of the night? I know I'm not. I tell my friends this, like, if you have an emergency, call 999. Call your mother, call your family, call the police. Don't call me because my phone's on do not disturb and I'm asleep. I'm sorry. If you need help at 2:00 in the morning, that's a disclaimer that I give every single person. I'm not the friend I'm in a deep sleep at that time. I'm not gonna answer the phone at 2:00 in the morning. I'm so sorry. So I know that about myself. I'll be there with you in the daytime. Like if you're having a hard time, absolutely call me when working hours. That makes me sound like a selfish person, but I know that about myself. And I've had people actually call me in the middle of the night, like text me like, oh, I was locked out my house and I needed somewhere to go, and I saw the text the next day. I'm like, you should know this by now. When I'm asleep, I'm asleep, and I like my sleep a lot. When I'm out, when I'm done for the day, I'm done for the day. I'm so sorry. You gotta let me know in advance if you're coming around, so then I can make space for you. But if you're stranded somewhere, I'm sorry, I'm not that reliable. But I've accepted that about myself, and that, call me as your friend, okay? I'm sorry. But I do the best that I can with what I got. Yeah, so what's good about you? What's not so good about you? What could you improve on? And what kind of friend do you want to be? Are you the friend that, I definitely want to be the friend that throws parties and has dinner parties. I want to be able to invite people to my house. I can't do that in my current situation, but I know that later on down the line, I want to be the hospitable friend. So you can come over. Yeah, what friend do you want to be? Are you the intellectual friend? Are you the business savvy friend? Are you, I'll look after your kids kind of friend? What's your role? Start to embody more of the characteristics that you want to show people. And ultimately, you want people to show back to you. What do you want your life to look like? Do you envision chilling in on the weekends after work? You just stay home and kick back and relax with one friend every weekend? Or are you someone who wants to turn up and travel and do extravagant things? What does your life want to look like? You got to find friends that kind of match or share similar values. So I know when it comes to traveling, you can go on like retreats now. You can find packages and, you know, just meet random people. You can find apps and things like that and do group activities with strangers and make friends. But you have to be willing to try. You have to be willing to look, and also like just be a little bit picky about who you want in your circle. What are your values? Something that comes up a lot is like being friends with people that are outside of your race or outside of your religion or outside of your culture. I think it's very important to at least be acquainted with people who don't share similar values to you, who don't believe in the same things that you believe in, because the world is so big and so vast, and that not one person has the same ideology as you. I understand it can be a bit tricky with religion and things like that, but these people are your friends. Like, you're not gonna marry them and spend every waking moment with them, and it's healthy to have informative conversations, so not necessarily disagreements, but, you know, have polarizing views to people around you. I will say though, like, if your political status can be a tricky one, let's say if you're more of a liberal person or you're more working class, and then you find out a friend is more of a conservative, more middle upper class, that can definitely strain a relationship, because the mindsets are totally different, and the values and the wants and the needs of someone who's more liberal versus someone who's more conservative are completely different. So in those kind of circumstances, it can put a strain on the relationship, but that's up to you if that matters or not. So again, get out your pen and paper, write down your values. Is it important for you to be friends with people who are the same class as you? Are they in the same tax bracket as you? Do they work in the same industry as you? Are they the same religion? Are they the same? Do they have the same political beliefs as you? These are the things that you should know. Are they the same race as you? A majority of my friends, I say like 80% of my friends are black, and that's just kind of happened non-intentionally because I live in a predominantly black neighborhood. I went to a predominantly black school, and I'm in a lot of places now where it's white dominated, So I naturally gravitate towards the other black people in the room. I go to speak. If I'm in a place, especially with influencer events and things like that, it will definitely be like 80-90% white, blonde hair, blue-eyed girls. And I show up like this. If there's another black girl in the building, I'm going to sit next to her. I'm going to sit and talk to her. And that's just something that I do consciously. One, because she's by herself. And it depends on the kind of black person. Because there are some black people who grew up around white people. And they might be on the other side. If you know what I mean. They might be in the sunken place. So you might approach them and they'll look at you like, oh, who are you? Whereas I like to approach other black women like sister, like, hey sis, we're in this together, okay? It's me and you. And it just feels like you feel a little bit more comfortable. And then of course I'll go and sprinkle myself and I'll go and talk to the white people in the room. But I always make an effort first to acknowledge the black people wherever I go. Get outside. I spoke about this in the last episode 2. Join some social clubs, pick up a hobby, pick up a sport, do something outside of your comfort zone where you can mingle with like-minded individuals, and you're more likely to meet a friend. You're more than likely to meet you and that person. It makes things easier because you and that person already have a common interest. You already have something that you both like and enjoy, and that could be like the foundation of your relationship. That could be the foundation of your conversation. Oh, how long have you been doing this for? Oh, what do you think about this? Oh, have you tried this? You know, that's how things start. So absolutely, social clubs, go out more, join a members club. I'm kind of funny about being friends with your friends' friends. I always feel like that's a little bit sneaky. Being friends with your friends' friends. Unless you and your friend always brings that friend around, then you kind of all become mutually connected. So yeah, I wouldn't overstep your friend to be friends with someone else. But, you know, be open to making friends with your friends' friends if they are around. And lastly, be open and be aware that not everything works out. Just because you had a great connection, a great time with this person, doesn't make them a friend for life. You know, some people don't know how to be friends. That's why it's good on you to learn how to be a friend and also communicate what you want and what you need in your friendship quite early on. Oh, I'll talk about that in a second. But not everything needs to be something. Same with romantic relationships. You might have a fantastic connection with someone and that's about it. You know? It could just be a business. It might just end up being a business connection, or you had this one time and that's that. It's very, very important to not overthink relationships, not overthink yourself in the relationship, or not overthink the person in the relationship. Of course, if your gut is telling you red flag and you need to run, then absolutely do that. But in the early stages, relax, be open to trying new things, being open to, I guess, being shown a whole new world or coming out of your comfort zone, and also be open to it not panning out into anything. Stop trying to be friends with people based on fickle reasons. So just because someone is pretty or someone looks similar to you or has similar fashion sense to you, stop that. Stop just being like, oh, you're pretty, I'm pretty, let's be friends. No, those relationships are quite conceited and they tend to fizzle out quite early on. I think like in romantic relationships, when you're dating people, you need to date your friends too. You need to vet people out because people are crazy. And women are very good at hiding the crazy until a little bit later on down the line. So you need to vet people and be very clear with your expectations in a friendship. Or, ultimately go with the flow, get to know the person. But if someone crosses the line, crosses your boundary, or says something offensive, or does something that doesn't align with you, you need to nip it in the bud immediately, because you don't want to be friends with that person 2-3 years and then you're like, damn, I didn't even notice that a thing fell down behind me, and then you're like, damn, I really don't like that about that person. It's good to communicate. Really try to communicate where you stand as a person, where your lines are as a person, and ask them where their lines stand as a person, and see how you can, I guess, compromise or work with each other to build a healthy foundation. And if someone crosses your boundaries, if someone isn't willing to listen to what you say, or thinks your boundaries and your values are stupid, then that's not your friend. That's not somebody that needs to be your friend. So just keep that in mind. So to conclude that little segment, you should absolutely be open to having new friends in your 20s, in your 30s. It does get harder. Yes, it gets harder as you get older to make friends, because you just don't have the time and you don't have the capacity. You don't have the strength anymore. You've been through so much in your life. You're just grateful to have at least one friend that you can call. But I think it's so important as you get older to have community, to have people that you can call on, have people that you can just go for a drink with, have people you can vent to. You feel it's like just having a free therapy. It just makes life that little bit easier, knowing that you've got people in your corner, that people you can turn to, people that are not your colleagues, people that love you for you and are choosing to give you a space in their life as much as you are choosing to give them a space in your life. It's very, very beautiful to have those connections and share intimacy with your chosen family. Absolutely. So yeah, don't think that your friends that you've made in high school are the ones that need to stick beside you forever. It's great if they do, but it's also great if they don't, because it makes room for new friends and new experiences and people that are probably more aligned with you, rather than someone who was your best friend just because you spent a quote unquote forced amount of time together per week, meaning you didn't have a choice. You did choose this friend, yes, but that's because you were in the same environment every day for multiple years. Now you have a choice to choose people that make you feel special. Now let's move on to Ask Anna. Ask Anna. Cool. Ask Anna is the part of the show where I answer your dilemmas. Every week I put a question box on my story on Instagram, so head over there and make sure to follow. And yeah, we're going to get into this week's dilemma. This is a perfect time to say, if you are not following me on Instagram, make sure to follow me there at Annamarie Descartes. We're on the road to 10k. And make sure to subscribe to me on YouTube. We're on the road to 1k. And if you are listening on streaming platforms, then give me a thumbs up. Love ya. First question. Hi Anna. I think I'm bi-curious, but I'm not sure how my friends and family will react to it. What should I do? Good question. You know what? I had a phase where I felt like I was bi-curious. I do often have phases, and I do feel like I'm a little bit bent, a little bit bendy, a little bit fluid. Fluid is the best word to describe my sexuality, and sexuality is fluid. I think these podcasts and red pill, blue pill, whatever, makes things seem so black and white, like you're either straight or you're gay. But with the LGBTQIA plus community, we know now that it's a lot more than just 2 types of sexuality. So if you are bi-curious, first and foremost, that's nobody's business but your own. Okay. Who gives a shit what people think? But I understand, because you mentioned friends and family, that probably suggests to me that you're probably still quite young. So understandable. What I would say to you is explore, honey. Explore that curiosity to your heart's content. Figure out, it's up to you to really figure out what it is. Your youth. Your youth, whenever I say your youth, it makes me feel so old, but your youth, and not even just your youth, any time in your life before you die, as long as you're able-bodied, you should be exploring. If something piques your interest, if you've been used to something for X amount of years and then something else piques your interest, you should absolutely go investigate. Go and see what that is. And because you might have the time of your life over there, and it just opens your horizons and your mind to so many new things. It just makes you a little bit more relaxed in life when you allow your sexuality to take you where it needs to take you. And I wish more people did that. So yes, explore your curiosity. Go and dibble and dabble. Go and taste some pies. And then once you're sure what it is, I guess if you find somebody that you really like and you want to be in a relationship with them, or if you become a lot more comfortable in yourself and you're certain about where you land on the spectrum, then have that conversation with them then. But I think if you have the conversation with them first, it might deter you. If it's a positive response, then it'll boost you, and you can go for it. But if it's a negative response, that might deter you from doing what you want to do, and then maybe you might have to sneak off and lie to go and do what you want to do. So just do what you want to do first time around, then tell them later. Okay, thank you for tuning into this week's episode of AM to PM. I hope this was informative, and I can go into further you know what, the topics list is endless. So if I need to do a part 2, let me know. If you want me to further go in depth, do let me know, because this is only episode 3. And I hope to make it to at least episode 100. So there's plenty of time. Plenty more room for conversations. Thank you to my patrons. Thank you to my subscribers and my followers. Lots of love to you. And I will see you again next week. Ta-da!